Hey guys, we're back here, going now to the next section of the website, and now we're moving forward to the menu part of the website. Okay, this is a important part of the website because pretty much when you go to a restaurant, you need to check the menu and the cost of everything, etc., to see how much it's gonna cost your experience. And having on the home page, having on the first page that you're going to, this is amazing. This is very important. The problem is most of the restaurants, they have a hard time understanding people wants to reach the menu as fast as possible. They got the concept, they got the name, they got the pictures. Okay, that is looking nice, fine. You're promising a lot of stuff, but what is the price? How much it costs? So this is part of the strategy. This is part of the how you build a strong website, because you have to give the information people want first. Doesn't matter what you think, doesn't matter what your strategy, what are your years and years of experience. People now are not spending that much time on websites. This is the truth. This is the sad truth, but is the truth. And then one of the things you have to be aware is, if you hide your menu, if you hide your information from your visitor is just going to just get out of your website. Definitely, this is the truth. So one of the things you have to be aware is, what is the information, what is the piece of information my visitor really wants, he's really looking forward, so I can provide as fast as I can, in a way they can understand, they can make their decisions, they can make their purchasing decisions, anything else related with my business. So be aware of that. Advise your client, hey guys, you need to put this information right on the top of the page, or we need to keep this information on the homepage, because this is exactly what they're looking for. Okay, so the menu, maybe it's a boring part of the website. Definitely it is. Sometimes we don't have a very good designs, we don't have very good alternatives, visual alternatives, but the menu is the core of the business. So you have to make it available as fast as possible, but in a good way, in a very nice way. Okay, so let's go back to our template here on Photoshop, and I have here our menu. It's just an example. You see, it just duplicate all the same title for everything. So we have an idea of how much space it's going to take, and how many columns, how many ingredients, how many products, right? So let's look from this perspective. This is a draft, okay? This is just a draft. This is not the final version. This is a guidance for us. This is a guide. This is where we're going to look at to be inspired, to remember what we taught about all this process, and then turn into reality. So nothing here is set on stone. Again, nothing here is set on stone. Is a reference. You yourself created this. You created this template as a reference for you. Now, of course, for the client, but for you in the production perspective. Now, if you look to this menu, it's very simple. It's plain, simple words. There's nothing else. Why is that? Because along the entire template, we are working a heavy visual perspective, very heavy. We have photos everywhere, we have different colors, we have boxes, we have the map, we have products popping up, we have a green background with the table topping type of a background, etc. So we are heavily visual oriented here. Now we need a break. Every single brain needs a break, because it's too much information. I think now it's looking good, it's balanced, all the colors are mixing together. This is looking very nice. It's a simple website, but it looks professional and looks nice. Now we need a break, and the break happens, listen to me, the break happens every time you need their attention to make a decision. You're not going to put dragons flying with elephants and giraffes and mountains and wizards and clouds and castles all together and put your call to action right under that. Because you're just asking them to look it everywhere and not looking at the small little button for them to make the decision. So this is Very important. If you put a lot of pictures, a lot of banners, and now it's time for the decision, or now it's time for them to understand the core of your services and the core of your business, this is the moment for you to break down a little bit, easy on the visuals, and clean the conversation so they can understand what you're offering. And this is the reason this menu area is simple, basic, and clean, because you're breaking the whole experience all the way to the top to bottom. Another question I have on this template is, do we need 3 columns or we need just 2 columns, right? Do we need these many sections or just need a couple sections to ask them to go to a different page to look the menu, or do we need the entire menu right now? So these questions are very important and they're going to be answered along the production process, so you can understand and experience whatever the customer or whatever the visitor will experience as well. Okay, so let's create this part right now and let's move to the website, because this is pretty much just text. We're going to create one section, so let's concentrate ourselves in one section. Let's say you're going to do this one here first. Okay, so this is going to be our main section now, and from that we're going to copy and duplicate to the others. Okay, so it's not going to take a lot of time, but I just made this introduction so you can understand the concept of taking attention of your visitor from A to B in a very easy way to get results. You have to get results, you have to make sales, you have to make money, your client has to make money. So this is something very important for you to understand. Okay, all right, let's move forward and let's go back to our builder, the Brizy builder, and let's go all the way down here. Our website is looking very nice, by the way. So let's go on our section and let's create a blank section again. We're pretty much creating everything, every single part of the website from scratch. We didn't use any block or any pre-made template. Everything is created custom. There's no website with this exactly same template, layout, pictures, photos. This is a custom template created specifically for this course. All right, so let's do it. So the first thing you have to understand, okay, based on our template, we have here 3 columns. Okay, so 3 columns, they are very simple to create. They are very easy to create. So let's do now. Let's go back to our template here on Photoshop and let's take some information from this template right now. So let's copy now our text from here. So we have a title. We also have another font type showing up on the project, which is the font type called Frank. So you're gonna use that as well, and you're gonna use some description. So let's start with the title and the 3 columns. Okay, so let's go back here and hit the row, the columns. Okay, let's create 3 columns. And let's add a title. Let's take this title from the Italian family. Let's just duplicate, drag all the way down here. All right, let's centralize. And let's just add, what were you saying here? Oh, we don't have any title here, okay. So, okay, let's do it exactly like here. Let's just copy appetizers. And let's paste it, appetizer. Awesome. Now let's do a text. Let's copy the same text we have over here. And also let's just duplicate this title here. Move all the way inside of the box. Right here on the top of the text. Awesome. And then let's change this title to Frank Rule. So to do that, you have to do this. Select the text, go to the text tool, go to add new font, click Google Fonts. You can upload your own font, but anyway, do Google Fonts because it's already part of the Google library. Let's do Frank, and here we go. This is our Frank Rule library font type. Continue, hit continue, and done. All right, so now the font is already here, but it's not applied on the text. So let's select the text, go to the text tool again, and let's do Frank Rule right here. Nice. So this is our title. Let's go back to the template and let's copy this title here. Let's go back to our builder and paste. Okay, so now we have to make this title very small, not that very small, but you know, 22, maybe 22 is fine. Let's align to the left. And then description of the plate is right here on the template 2, which is just 2 lines. Usually, the description for restaurant products, they are very short, like max 3 lines. So let's keep it and let's go back and just paste over here. All right, so now we have one item, okay? So let's duplicate this 2 times, 1, 2, and 3. Let's delete this box right here. Okay, now we have it. So 3 items and the title. Going back to our template, we have some gaps here, some spaces here in between. So let's make sure the spaces are looking nice. I like the space between the columns, but this is too close from each other. Let's add a spacer, okay? So plus button on the toolbar, and let's just drag the spacer under the title right here, and just release. Okay, it's right here. It breathes a little bit better. So at the title, I think the title is maybe 44. That would be nice. All right, saved. Then it's close to our the latest block, the latest layer we created. Okay, now we have it. One of the things people really look for is the price, right? And here the price is connected to the same font type, the same alignment, the same thing as the title. I'm not against it, definitely. I'm not against, because I read the title of the plate, and for me it looks like, okay, $9, $10, $11. So let's change a little bit. Like this is 12, this is, I don't know, 17. Okay, let's change a little bit and see how it looks like. Okay, looks nice. But maybe we should change the title, actually the price, and put a bold right here, and see how that pops up better. I know a lot of people prefer to pop up the name of the plate instead of the pricing, but again, we're looking for the pricing. If I'm going out with my wife, with my family, I really need to understand how much it's gonna cost for me to have that experience. I'm not talking about money just in a cold stone perspective. It's, hey, this is my family moment. However, I need to know how much I'm gonna invest, and so I think just adding a bold here on the price, that will pops up, that will facilitate the price for our visitors, and they will have a perspective how much it's going to cost for us to visit this specific restaurant. Okay, awesome. Let's duplicate this section. So we have one section here, so with 3 columns, and we have the appetizer section. One of the things we can do is this: we can duplicate this section right here. So we have the section options right here. Let's go on the corner, on the right corner, and just duplicate. Done. Okay, now we have 2 sections. They're exactly the same. If we go here on the left, you can see you have these 2 sections, section 1 and section 2. This is one option. The second option you can have it is this. You can also duplicate this one, the third one. Now I have 4. Okay, let's drag this guy all the way down and create 2 lines inside of the same section, inside of the same layer. Okay, so let's duplicate this guy 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, so this is a different perspective. This is a different perspective of how to build the page. You have one section holding all your information, or you have multiple sections with different perspectives. Which one is the best? I believe that based on the amount of content, it's nice to have everything in one single space, because you can put the content under the same rule of that specific section. For example, let me give you an example. If you have all this text in one single section, you have to customize and change the settings for this section one time, right? If you have multiple sections, you have to duplicate the same settings over and over and over again. If the visual result is the same, it doesn't make sense for you to change every single layer and give all the same settings for all the layers below. So pay attention in something. If you have the same design, which is our case here for this specific menu, I think it's better to condensate everything in one place And one settings here, everything you do over here is going to apply for everything else inside of the same section. Okay, that makes sense for you? So if you duplicate this section here, let me just give you an example. Let me duplicate this multiple times. Okay, now look at this. I have multiple sections, but they have the same design. They have exactly the same design, the same perspective, the same font size. They have no pictures. They have the same concept. So it doesn't make sense for me to have so many layers using the same space, using the same type of perspective, the visual, the branding, etc. So let's keep everything under the same, inside of the same layer. Okay. So let me delete. Another thing is you can delete all the sections right away from here. You don't have to scroll down, up and down to delete it. You just leave it on the block section on the left. Okay. All right. But we need space. We need organization here, visual organization. So let's bring here a spacer. And let's add a spacer in between these layers. Wow, that looks much better. And let's change the title again all the way down. And let's add a second title. Nice. Let's go back to the template and let's do the salads. All right. So you know the drill. It's just copying, pasting, copying, pasting, copying, pasting. So I'm gonna move again and just do the same process. Duplicate, drag down, duplicate twice, 1, 2, bring the spacer, duplicate the spacer, move the spacer down in between, duplicate the title, move the title down. Right? Folks, no secret. There's no secret here. This is pretty much a manual repetition of the same process. Why? Because you define the first one. So the first one is moving forward to the next. The same concept applied in all the others as well. So let's change the title for this one. This one's going to be pizzas. Pizzas, we have multiple pizzas here. We can have 6, 7, 10, 15. So let's do 3, 6, 9. So 9 line options, 9 products for the pizzas. So let's do pizzas again. So this guy here, let's move down a little bit. So let's move this guy down and let's duplicate 1, 2, 3. Oops. Yeah, it's okay. We have to remove this guy anyway. So let's go another 2. Awesome. Let's take the spacer and let's bring the spacer down. Oops. Just duplicate first. Let's duplicate and put it down. Now, the spacer between these items, the pizza items, don't have to be the same because it's not a section, it's just a spacer in between the pizzas. So let's just duplicate and make a little bit smaller, not that high. And that's it. We have the appetizer, the salads, the pizzas, and now the last section is the specials, I guess. Let's go back to the template. Specialty pastas. That is nice. That is nice. Let's move forward. Let's just duplicate the title, move all the way down, duplicate the spacer, move all the way down again between the last section. Then let's duplicate this guy here. Let's just move down below the pizzas and let's duplicate twice and one more because it's going down and the second line twice. All right, so now we just need to change the title and that's it. We have our menu ready to go, Amazing. It looks amazing. Now, of course, you can change the titles of each one, change the descriptions. This is in a real life. Yes, you're gonna have real information here. Now, from the business perspective, okay? From the business perspective, what we can do here to make it better. Basically, if your client requests something special, for example, we have a picture of this place here. Let's just pretend we have a picture, okay? One of the ways you can do is move the picture on the top of the box, inside of the box actually. Right here inside of the box. Here you go. Then let's move this picture all the way on the top of the title. Actually, let's move the title down. All right. And let's create a section for the picture. And then move the picture to the left. Now, if your client requests that a picture for each one of the items, this page is going to be very long, very big. So that is not going to be nice. Because even if you're giving what the client wants, you're going to spend at least 70% of your entire homepage just for pictures and products. So that doesn't make sense. What makes sense is you give the information in a way that is quickly and fast to assess, and after that, fast to make a decision. Adding pictures on this menu is going to make this menu longer. Actually, we're going to triple the size of the of this homepage, right? So if this is the case, the menu should go to a different place, but you have to have something on the homepage that brings people to the menu, like a big picture, nice picture. Click here, check our menu, check our special, something like that. More call to actions, taking the visitor all the way to the menu area. So if, oh yeah, we really want to add the pictures, we really love our pictures, the products, etc., let's do it. Okay, move to a different page, because you're going to spend a lot of time. This is small menu. Restaurants average, they have double, they have twice this, based on the real life experiences. So listen to me, this is important. If you're going to add pictures, move the menu to a different page. Okay, but if you're not going to add pictures, if it's a short menu, just keep on the home page, because it makes it easier for the visitor. But in a separate page, you can have all the space you want. This is dedicated for the menu. You can add pictures, you can add videos, you can add everything you want on a specific menu page, right? So this is a mini page inside of the home page. If you take that from that perspective, this is a mini page menu inside of the home page. So to facilitate, basically, but you definitely can have a menu page dedicated for the products, and where you can just explore all the possibilities. Okay, all right. So let's just delete this one, and that's it. So we have our menu done, which is not a small menu, it's not a big menu, it's a mid-range menu, but it looks nice. All right, Rodrigo, there's one downside of separating all the items and keep everything in one place. Yes, there's one downside. If I need to move specialty pastas all the way up, I will have to move individually, one by one. Yes, I will have to do this. How can we avoid that? One of the options we can do is create a container. Okay, let's create one container. And inside of this container, let me delete this container here. So I have one container here. Let me add this specialty pasta inside of the container. Then add another one here inside, and another one here on the side of this one, and another one on the side of this one. Okay, so I now have all these three columns, technically speaking, installed under each other, but inside of one single container. Look at this. And now we need a spacer in between. I forgot the spacer somehow. Or where's my spacer? It's not here. It's not here. It's not there. Okay, so let's duplicate this guy here and just add it. Okay, so now see, this is what I'm talking about. This is a box, big container, with a container holding 7 items with the title. So now if I want to move up, I just need to drag the entire section, listen, the entire section all the way up. So I have more control of the building process. So I don't have to move every single element one by one. Okay, what is the, not a downside, but what is the, you have to be careful with this method here, because now you have different rules, because you have different containers, one container, another container, and multiple containers, and each one of these containers, they can have their own identity and their own rules of spacing, borders, specific paddings, distances between the elements. So every time you add things inside of boxes, each box has its own personality, its own way to communicate, visually speaking. So every time you see a little arrow here on Brizy, it means you can change everything, or you can change specific items for that specific containers or specific elements. So it's important for you to take care of that. Okay, let's put everything inside of one box because I can move up and down. Yes, let's do it. However, pay attention. You have to be careful because every single box should have the same rules from one to top to from the top to all the way to top to bottom, because this blue container here has one rule and this gray container can have a different rule. So make sure all the boxes, containers, and elements, they have a balanced perspective from the visual perspective, but also for the rules, how all the settings for each one of them. Okay. All right. Awesome. Let's go. Let's move forward to the next section. All right. So on the next section, let me go back here on the Photoshop, and let's find our next section, which is exactly the same based on our family night. Remember? So let's do the same. Again, two things you have to do it. You have to export the picture, export the badge, and that's it. All the rest is going to be exactly the same. So I'm going to use the same, exactly the same visual, the same structure from that we did before, and we can just duplicate and change it again for the bottom of the page. Okay, so let's do it right now. All right, so let's export this picture here. The fastest way, to be honest with you, is just pretty much just come over here, open a new folder. Let me open, not a new folder, let's open the file. Okay, so let's go all the way to our family picture, and the family picture is going to be the reference for us. So let's take this picture and let's drag on the top of the other we already created. Okay, let's just expand this picture here. Awesome. Okay, this angle is fine. Everybody's showing up. Okay, one more here. All right, then let me see if I can bring more people inside of the frame. Okay, looks better. Now we have to just export for web. You know the drill. Just export, and let's go to our folder and then save as business. All right, so this is the business picture. Let's go again back to our badge, and let's just drag our badge again. So this is going to be our badge design. All right, so let's just change it. And why am I using the same examples, the same sizes, the same pictures? Because we're just going to replace files. You're not going to change positions or change the angles or anything else. We're just pretty much replacing pictures on the top of the frame that already exists. You're going to understand that in a moment. So let me do 20% off tag. This is for the business. All right. So we have two pieces of information here, the picture and the tag. Let's go back to the website and let's duplicate this little guy here. So let's go to the block here on the block. We can see here our element is right here before the menu. So let's click here on the top of the layer and just duplicate this layer. Awesome. Let's go back here on the control, on the layers control, blocks control panel, and just move down. Okay, so now it's right here. What do we have to do now? We have to just replace the pictures. But let's go back and let's change the perspective of how can you understand it. We have specific colors here. We have the background color, which is this one. So let me take the code from this color using the color pin dropper, and then we gonna change the color of the button as well. So let's start with the background first. Click on the options of the box, click on the color, overlay, and just change the color. Awesome. Now we're gonna change this color to white and this color to white as well because they're the text. Now we're gonna change the title, so Italian business. Okay, Italian business. So this is the title for our section, and this is going to be the same text, just as a reference. All right. So now we have here also the button for the open table, right? So let's replace the picture. Let's change the picture before we forgot to change the picture, and let's upload both pictures and tags right here. All right, we have both here. Let's just upload on WordPress and add to our project. All right, so now we have it. Let's see if we can change the angle a little bit using the pin. Look at this. Yeah, and now almost everybody's on the frame, but it's fine, no problem. Then let's change the tag picture. Click on the tag picture, delete the picture on the corner, click here at the center, and replace with the new one. All right, so now we have it. So let's go back to our design. So on this specific design, the tag is on the top of the picture. So that means we can make a little bit bigger, okay? But that will change that will be on the top of the face. So let's just leave like here for now. Let's leave here for now. Maybe you can move this picture a little bit to the right and just, technically speaking, we're gonna remove everybody from the picture. So yeah, it's okay. And let's keep the size. Let's make a little bit smaller. All right. So the next step we're gonna do now is just make sure the button from Open Table pops up on the top of this box, because as you know, we cannot see the preview of the widget. It's not here, but is here when you see in real life, in a real browsing experience. So let's go back and preview the page as it is right now. All right, so we have all the sections, we have the menu, and now we have the business. It looks nice because it's red, it's popping up, but the name Open Table is not showing it because it's dark. This is a problem. But okay, let's think about a solution. Let's make this background a little less close to the color, because it's pretty much almost the same color of the title, right? So let's change the color. Let's pretty much change the color. Let's maybe move this color all the way up, you know, a little bit brighter. Okay, all right, it looks good, looks interesting. Let's make this a little bit brighter. All right, so let's update and let's check in real life. So this one here, I can remove it. Let's refresh this page. So now probably gonna have a better result because it's not that close. Yeah, it's okay. It's not perfect in terms of colors. We can make we can pick better colors here, but it's okay. It's a solution, and it actually is popping up as well as one of the options for the business. All right. So now we have both sections. We have Italian night and business night section. Of course, your client can ask, hey, man, can you make different? Can you change the design? Can you change the template? Yes, but this is just a example, a page that we're learning the elements and the process. So of course you can make it better, but it so far is looking good. All right. One of the things I never tested in this class so far in this course is the full screen functionality. And one of the things we can check now. For example, this is our section, the entire section right here. So let's go to the options, settings, and you have the options called box it. Let's do full. What do you think about that? Let's try full and see how it looks like. All right. So this is the full option, okay, of the same section. So the thing is the downside of this type of full size perspective is that you have to readapt this full size for all different devices and make sure it's looking good in every single device. For big screens, as you see, it looks a little bit off because there's a lot of picture, a lot of box, a lot of stuff, but not a lot of information. We don't have that much information to fill this much of a space, right? But another thing what you can do is maybe change the perspective of the background and the relationship between pictures and background pictures. Okay, so let's do this. For example, here I have a picture element. I can delete the picture right now. Boom, there's no picture anymore. There's no picture on the top, but I can add the same picture as a background. So if I click on the selection here, selection box, options, then I have the first option, which is the background. Let's pick the picture. And it's going to be the same picture, okay? Now we have a background picture. Now we have the 20% off right here. You can make it smaller. And now we can add a spacer inside of the box. Look at that. Now the spacer is a tool that will define the height of my box. Look at this. Now, even if you don't have too much content for that, but you still want to go full screen, you can do it because you have the control of the height. And that changes, of course, based on devices, of course. But this is something that we can test and test it to make sure you have the perfect height, right? So I have a different monitor here. It's a small monitor. I have this monitor specifically for small laptop resolutions or small resolutions. So let me save this page and just refresh this website. This is centered, boxed, and now you're gonna see a wide version. So let me move this guy here to my different monitor, and let me change let me change my camera here. So using display 1, let me use display 2, and now you can see right here. See how much space I have in the small resolution. This is a laptop resolution, so it looks good in the small resolutions going full screen. It looks really good, and it also looks good if I go to the full screen on the bigger laptop, in the large laptops. Okay, so let's do this. One of the things we can do is, let me drag again back. Let me change to the other laptop. Here we go. We're back on the big resolution, and let's keep exactly like that, because this is sometimes you have to change a little bit the approach in some specific elements, and this is one of the ways you can do it. Okay, so we have full screen on the at the bottom, and we have boxed on the top. This is an option. We can definitely play with that. Okay, one of the things I have to do here as well is take out these little gaps. Can you see there's a little gap right here, and there's another little gap right here? See, there's a white gap, let's say. So I don't want these gaps popping up. I just want to be 100% full screen. So you have to go on settings, on the layer settings, settings again, more settings, and then you're gonna kill the space, kill the gaps, and you're also going to kill the gaps from the container as well. So click on the little icon here, the gray icon on the corner. This is the container that is holding everything inside of the layer. So click here, go to options, and you're going to see we have 10 pixels gap as a padding. So let's remove that. That's it. See? There's no space anymore. It's 100% height, all the way stretched to all the limits of the screen. So this is what I was looking for, and that's why it's so important to make sure the rules of the sections and the elements are always checked. Okay. All right, so now we have a full screen section, which looks good in a big monitor. It's just a stretch a little bit, but the button's there. But when you go to a different size, you're gonna see it. I'm gonna just change the size a little bit so you can see in real life. Look at this. This is stretched, okay, 100% stretched. So let me take this from and let's look at this. Now this resolution is getting smaller, and you can see even more elements or less elements. Look at this. And the page is adapting perfectly. Look at this. It's perfect. And here on the top, we have a boxed example. Here at the bottom, we have a full screen example. Okay, which one do you like the most? Just leave in the comments, and I want to hear from you right now. Another thing is, look at this 20% off. Sometimes it crosses the border, sometimes do not cross the border. It depends on the resolution. If the resolution is moving all the way down, we have to create new rules for this little guy here in different resolutions. Okay. All right, guys, now we're going to the end. We're finalizing this project, we're finalizing this page. I'm happy with that. The next stage is going to be the contact form, and you're going to add some products as well, some wine, bottles of wine, maybe some cheeses. That would be nice to add on this page as products. So let's add it and let's play with that. We never created that on this specific Photoshop template, but this is going to be a nice addition. Okay, so see you on the next class, see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. See you next.